No, I agree with that. It's going to be interesting to watch what Jonathon Gannon does because he's taken a little bit of heat this week. I do think he's going to change from the philosophy you mentioned. Patrick Mahomes, sort of like a Michael Jordan type player in
Right.
football. You just try to limit him.
Up to an Eagles-Panthers showdown on Sunday. We'll break it down for you every which way over the next 2 hours here on Birds 365 with the Mac and Mac guys, John McMullen and Jody McDonald. J Mac, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling focused. It's a focus Friday, Jody, but I'm a little jealous of you, which you know why behind the scenes, but we'll just leave it at that.
No, we won't, because I want to thank the people from Screwballs last night. I hopped out and jumped on Countdown to Kickoff here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Joe Krause hosting, and both ways, both on the air and off the air. And a couple of the other guys, Luigi and Coach, sitting in with me. We broke down the game pretty effectively, I thought, last night. Good spot. Never been to Screwballs before. Outstanding pork sandwich. I got a little info ahead of time that the pork was the way to go, and absolutely positively right. And yes, my payment, little stateside vodka, which I'm predicting will be tapped into at some point over the weekend. And I'll have a review of that maybe next week here on Birds 365. But we miss you, Mac, man. Glad to have you here for the next 2 hours. First things first, and this is a staple. I think I missed out, and it's shame on me for this. The John McMullen itinerary. All right. So when do you leave for Carolina?
Now you're killing me. See, everything is. I'm very focused on the.
You're focused, and you didn't know I was going itinerary on you.
No, you did not. Yeah, I did not. That's
see that's a. I'm tapping myself on the back here, but that's a good host. You got to ask questions.
That's right.
That they're not prepared for, where they already have answers that they contemplated out hours, if not days before. No. I need to know exactly when John McMullen is leaving and coming back from Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, leaving 5:23 on Saturday, but it is a certain airline where that's always a little bit shaky. I will leave that to supposedly leaving at 5:23. And then I don't I'm coming back Monday. I know that. But let me try to figure out when in a few minutes.
Yeah, because we kind of need to know when we're going to have you on Monday.
That's
kind
true.
of an important part of the show. So we need to know whether you're hosting or just doing a guest.
Well, I'm definitely not hosting. And I might be out entirely, but I have to check that during the break because I did get a morning flight. So maybe I could jump on at the airport depending on timing, but I have to double check.
Glad one of us cares when John McMullen's on the show.
Yeah.
Apparently John McMullen doesn't care, but his partner Jody McDonald does. So yes, at some point I will need that all important information.
Yes, it's interesting because when you do book flights, they're real good on your flight out. They give you 17, reminders. The flight back, though, they're like, oh, we'll worry about that when we'll worry about it. So I got to dig through. I got to dig through 17 emails and try to figure out which one has that info.
All right, we'll see if he can get that up before the show is over and done with. You will enjoy the show if you stay put today. We got two good guests. Josh Tolentino, new Eagles beat guy for the Inquirer this year, who is making his debut appearance on Birds 365, is going to jump on with us within the next 20 minutes. I've never spoken to Josh before, so I'm very much looking forward to it. McMullen will give you not only the update on the football game, but what kind of a in the media type guy Josh Tolentino is. Is he a guy who runs to the food line? Does he beat Johnny Mac out for hot dogs?
No, Josh is young and TV ready, so you'll see Josh. So,
all right, sounds good, looks good. Looking forward to talking to Josh Tolentino. And then in hour number 2, we're gonna get Mike Garafolo up here. You know Mike, read him on NFL.com, catch him on the NFL Network. Yes, he's a national big shot, big time guy, but he's a Philly guy at heart. You know it, I know it, we all know it. He is still very much connected and has his finger on the pulse of the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're looking forward to getting Mike Garafolo up in week number 2. All right, Johnny Mac, Eagles and Panthers, Sunday, 1 o'clock game. I said this last night when we were taping Countdown to Kickoff out at Screwballs. There's a key guy in this game, maybe more so than any of the 4 previous games the Eagles have played, because Patrick Mahomes is so much like a given that I can't even say he's the key guy going into a game. No, he's going to get 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. You just want to keep him from getting 6. Well, the Eagles did. They got 5, and I guess that was enough. But you get my drift here. This game, I think, hinges on Christian McCaffrey. He is one of the more exciting, talented players in the National Football League. He missed last week. He was limited in practice yesterday for the Carolina Panthers, but they did get a chance to talk to him. Media did get a quote out of him, and he said, "I'm definitely feeling great." Well, then why were you limited? They're being protective, overly protective, side of caution, all that stuff. The Eagles have just not been able to stop the runs the last 2 weeks. Not only have teams run against them, they've run through them, around them, down their throats. Use whatever descriptive adjective you want to describe being gutted by the other team on the run. And you don't expect that out of the Kansas City Chiefs, but that's exactly what you got. If Christian McCaffrey is 100% or close to it, and he is on the field for the majority of the game tomorrow, the Eagles got an issue trying to stop him.
No, I agree with that. It's going to be interesting to watch what Jonathon Gannon does, because he's taken a little bit of heat this week. I do think he's going to change from the philosophy you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes, sort of like a Michael Jordan type player in football. Right. You just try to limit him from not 40 to 30, whatever. It's going to be there, though, is what I'm trying to say. And Tyreek Hill, probably the most explosive player in the NFL. Although our buddy Deshaun Jackson had another big, but obviously he doesn't play as much at his age. You get my point, but that offense is, you can put that offense aside. That's the outlier offense. That's the best offense in the NFL. That's the most explosive offense in the NFL. That's the offense with the reputation. That's the offense everybody's scared of. Carolina's having a great season, but nobody's scared coming into that game. And maybe scared is the wrong word. I don't think anybody's scared going in any game, but there's a tremendous amount of respect for the Kansas City offense. I don't think you have that for the Carolina offense, even though they have a lot of good players. Sam Darnold's playing really well away from Adam Gase, which I think is obviously a big positive, not only for the Panthers, but for his career in general. DJ Moore's having a great season as a receiver, Philly kid. And Christian McCaffrey's been hurt, that Thursday night game. He was made it real clear he doesn't like those Thursday night games. He thinks he got hurt because of the limited recovery time and having to play on a Thursday night. So he's got the hamstring issue. Matt Rule's kind of playing the Nick Sirianni game with competitive advantage. Is he going to play? It's going to be a game time decision. Everything I get from Carolina, I've been trying to text some people down there. He's going to play. So, you can always have a setback with those types of soft tissue injuries, but if everything goes to plan, he's going to be out there. He's going to try to play. And he makes things more difficult, but I do think the Eagles have to shift on the back end. They can't just say, okay, we're going to limit DJ Moore's explosive plays because they're going to get gashed in the running game again. They got to make an adjustment and get a little bit tougher there. And by the way, on the offensive side of the football, Carolina's dealing with the same thing. I mean, the Cowboys ran all over them.
Yep.
So we know the Eagles and their running game, which is a little bit, everybody's focused on it. It's not wholly ineffective, but most of the good parts of it have to do with the quarterback. Doesn't matter how you run the football if you run the football.
Let me ask you just a quick side question on Christian McCaffrey and that Thursday night thing. This has bugged me since they went to Thursday night. I'm not a fan of just Thursday
I
night in
hate
general.
Thursday night football.
Right. I get it. You've got a very good product that you want to spread out as much as you can, and you want to be able to make as much money off your product as you can. You can make that much more money having a standalone game on Thursday. I get it. It's a money grab, and the NFL usually does, when given a chance, grab for money. They do exactly that. So it didn't shock me when it was implemented, and it still doesn't surprise me. However, the players complaining / whining about it, is it more difficult to get up for a Thursday game after you played on the Sunday before? Yes. Oh, I'll certainly admit that. For you and your 52 other teammates and the 53 guys on the other team. So it's not like any individual is asked, you need to get ready on only a couple of days rest. Everybody's got to get ready after a couple of days rest. So I
no,
really
but
does...
to defend Christian McCaffrey, I don't think he was talking about that. He wasn't saying, woe is me, I'm the only guy who's got to get ready for a Thursday night game. We had Colin Thompson on the show earlier in the week, and he said, he was talking about Christian. Nobody takes care of their body better than Christian McCaffrey in his entire time playing professional football. This guy's really tuned in on the health aspect, and you have this dichotomy of the NFL, safety, Jody, safety, gotta save. And then they're turning around with no preparation and playing on Thursday night. I think that's his main gist. It's not about him. It's about everybody. It's not hard to play this sport once a week. And then you're told, because it is a money grab and you don't really need the money. Oh, by the way, we're going to play on Thursday nights.
Hold on. I got to interrupt you there. And I want an honest answer out of you. And I think McMullen gives me honest answers about 98% of the time.
98? No.
98.
99.7.
Okay. If they put it to a vote, let's say they came up with a number, and you can probably figure this number out. Let's say everybody's overall money increases by 3% for having a Thursday night game. Everybody makes 3% more. The NFL make 3% more. The players make 3% more because they get a percentage of the overall revenue. So let's say they make 3%. I'm just picking that number out. If you want to change the number, feel free. Make it 5, make it 1.2, whatever you want to say. If you put it to a vote and you told the players you were going to take 3% out of their paychecks every week and they go back to playing just on Sundays and eliminate Thursday nights, how many players say, yeah, go ahead, take it out of my check?
Well, I hear what you're saying, but here's how I would counter that. In a vacuum, yeah, they never want to take less money. So I hear what you're saying.
And we know the owners never want to take less money, but nobody ever talks about the players willing to take less money. There's a reason for it. They don't control it. And number one, nobody ever asks them, so we'll never know. I'm going to give you my impression. That 99.8 that John McMullen is honest with me, that'd be the percentage would say, oh, no, we'll play on Thursday nights as long as.
Well, actually, I don't think it would be quite that high because players do hate playing on Thursday night and that part. But here's where I disagree, Jody. Here's where I disagree. Look, they already shifted the wild card again. They added a team right now. They're extending wild card weekend
to Monday
for another paycheck. Players aren't going to have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Players aren't going to have a problem with that. Now, maybe you'll have coaches talking about preparation time if you win. And if you got a short
team that wins that Monday night game will have a problem going forward the next week.
But not the players. That'll be a coach's thing. We don't have time to prepare. We don't have, the players.
There'll be one whining player like Christian McCaffrey that week.
Maybe.
I guarantee you.
There's a big difference. Christian McCaffrey, Jody, I talked to these guys over the years. They hate playing on Thursday night. It's not like he's alone in them. They hate it. They hate playing on Thursday night. The coaches hate it. Nobody has any preparation time. They don't even practice. You'll see it coming up on Tampa Bay. They don't even practice on weeks they have a Thursday night game. The product suffers. The league doesn't care because it's all about the cash game. But you said if you take 3% away, 2%, they'll just find another way to get that 3% back, 2% back. And they already did with moving the wild card game. They get another paycheck. They this league isn't hurting for money, isn't hurting for money. And by the way, from that standpoint, I think the product's oversaturated. Now, people keep tuning in, but they don't need that game. They don't need that game. And there is a blatant hypocrisy. You have to admit this, Jody. If you talk about the safety issue, and I already know the hypocrisy, so it doesn't bother me. But if you're like these other fans who actually go, oh, the NFL's trying to keep players safe. No, they're not. They're protecting themselves from future legal ramifications. That's all they're doing. But when you say, oh, we got to take this out of the game, we got to take this out of it. But by the way, show up on Thursday night and play. It's bull. You know what, Jody? You know it's bullshit.
Your point is well taken and dead on accurate. But I will once again say, for those, and yes, the players are the ones who have to deal with it. The owners sit above and go, yeah, we'll play on Thursday night. They're not the ones who have to prepare and get ready and have a short week and deal with injuries and everything. You're right. But again, and it'll never come to this, it never has come to this, never will come to this, if they put it to the players and said, here's the deal, we'll wipe away Thursday nights. We'll all make less money. And let's do the math for you. Take 3% away from your salary. You guys vote. Would you rather play on Thursday nights and make 3% more? Or would you rather not play on Thursday nights and make 3% less? About 90% would say, yeah, let's play on Thursday.
I think I agree with you. The vast majority wouldn't want to give any money back, but I think you'd be surprised. The number would be much lower than 90%. Guys hate playing on Thursday night. And it's not just Christian McCaffrey. They hate it. They don't like it. They don't want any part of it. Now, if it hits them in the pocketbook, you're right. It's totally different. They don't think of it.
That's my point, John. And I 100% understand what you're saying. There's a whole bunch of players that don't understand. They just get paid what they get paid. They don't realize that they're making more money because they're playing on Thursday night. Oh, the owners do. All the CEOs do. All the presidents do. They know all the numbers. Yeah. They crunch the numbers. The players don't. So if you had to sit down, you explain to the players, here's how much you make when we didn't have Thursday nights. Here's how much more you make now that we play on Thursday nights. And if you don't want to play on Thursday nights anymore, we're taking that out of your pocket. If you laid it out like that, 90% of the players would say, oh, really? Oh, shoot, I guess we got to suck it up and play on Thursday nights.
Well, I would say you're right. A lot of players aren't as financially savvy to realize it. And if you tell them, if you phrase it like that, they'll go 3%. I'll try 3%. A lot more than you would think. Now, you're talking about it's probably going to be a $15 billion industry. I have to check what Thursday Night Football rakes in. It's their least valuable television contract. Wouldn't be that much of a financial hit for this league. In a lot of ways, it doesn't make Thursday Night Football doesn't make sense. And in a lot of ways, doesn't it? And by the way, one of them is financially. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I talk about that future legislation. The real reason behind the NFL safety dogma, this is going to come back to bite them in the ass. They're not forward thinking. Somebody's going to figure out down the road how to take advantage of this to get money from the NFL, saying this league, what I've just laid out to you, this league doesn't care about safety. This league pushes its players on the field so quickly after games, and you have, Christian McCaffrey and other high-profile players saying this is not good for us. This is not the proper way to go from a safety perspective. This is going to bite them in the ass, and they're not thinking about that down the road. They think about head injuries. They think about that kind of stuff because it's been thrown in their face. This is something that's sort of under the radar that will eventually come back to haunt them. And they should get a little bit more forward thinking.
John, you've got a very good grasp on it, but I'll stand all over my belief that the players, if you actually showed them the numbers, do some quick math. We got Jack Tolentino joining us here in just a couple minutes. A $10 million player, which is above average, The average NFL salary is what? $4 or $5 million, somewhere there bad. You got guys who make less. You got guys who make 30 million. So let's just use a nice round number like $10 million. 10% of that would be $1 million. 3% of that would be $300,000. So if you said to a guy who is making $10 million, listen, you're going to be making 9.7 instead. Is that okay? We're taking $300,000 out of your pocket to eliminate Thursday night games. Now, you're never going to have to do it again. You're going to be able to get on your weekly thing. You're not going to have to push your body. But we're taking $300,000 out of your pocket. Do you think the player's going to say, oh, okay, yeah, here's the $300,000 back? Or do you think he's going to play, I'll suck it up and get ready for Thursday night? I'm telling you, I think the great majority of them would say, yeah, I'll play on Thursday night. They can play now because they don't understand how much extra they're making for it. All right, we got off on a major tangent. We got to get back to Panthers-Eagles. And we'll do so with the help of Josh Tolentino from the Inquirer. He joins us next here on Birds 365.
At Stateside Vodka,